Just waiting for my dad to, bring some tools and stuff.
Um. So, yeah. What is there to talk about?
I don't know.
So,
You wanted to VC.
so you and Shatina were gonna talk about some paper. What paper?
Like Turvey's paper on ontology, like perspective control, affordances.
Oh,
I forget the exact name of the paper. Let me see. Yeah, affordances and perspective control, an outline of the ontology. Yeah, that's it. And like various other papers that deal with like dispositions, uh like dispositional properties, Like Turvey's theory of affordances is that they're dispositions. Like
dispositions of
dispositions.
action.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, dispositions to entertain relationships. Like they're not like there's like he says there's no like um contradiction with it being dispositional and relational, because it's a disposition to entertain relationships, right? But it's not, you know, uh, you know, relation like a relationship as such. Like Chemero's theory of affordances is that they're relationships, right? And it's very like his like theory is like I mean, I don't agree with his theory. You know, I agree with Turvey's like theory. Like they disagree with each other here.
Oh
And it's a
boy.
little bit weird, the discussion, but Andrew Wilson, not the Andrew Wilson who's like a Christian apologist, like it's on Twitter. I'm talking about the ecological psychologist guy at University of, I don't know, I think he's at University of Connecticut. I'm not sure, but
Seems like all these guys are at Connecticut.
let's see. Um, yeah, this guy, um, here we go, has a couple of papers on like the disagreement here. Notes from two scientific psychologists. Are you sharing your screen? We can talk about this if you want. I saw you wanted to talk about probabilistic epigenesis too.
Yeah, wanted to talk about that because I see a lot of people in Zulu core discussing genes as if you can actually find a behavior in the genes.
Well, yeah, people don't know what the fuck they're talking about a lot of the time. When it comes to genes, they just like it's like there's science on the one hand, and then there's like the public, like I don't know, like pseudo view of like the scientific consensus, but it's not even like the scientific consensus. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah, it's like the
like
zeitgeist or whatever.
what the fuck? I don't know. What's the zeitgeist?
I feel like I'm using that word wrong. Hang on. Let me look it up. That's not what I meant.
I mean, it's
It's
sort
like
of, kind of. It's just like a bromide. Like I don't know. It's just like
yeah, yeah.
like just people say like my brain thinks my brain thinks this, my brain thinks that, my brain does this, my brain does that. It's just like colloquial. It's just picked up, like it's not even like they didn't read any scientific papers or anything on anything. It's just picked up like culturally. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's the same thing with the genes thing. You know, it's just picked up culturally, like for most people. So they just like repeat like what they've just been immersed in culturally, right?
Well, yeah, because there was a bunch of people in Zulu Chord, like they were, I don't know, they were talking about like transgender stuff, and they were talking about genes. And I'm like, guys, you're not gonna find anything by looking at the genes. And then I linked to like lecture 12 from Lectures on Perception, because like lecture 12 has like the little figure with like the it's like the pyramid where it's like genetics, neurology,
Yeah, he
and like the
that's from
physical.
Gottlieb.
Yeah, and it has like Gottlieb's little thing there, and I was like, yeah, I think this is what I'm trying to say, is that like it's not just the genes. Like you're not gonna find a behavior just by looking at the genes. But I don't know, because I kind of wanted to know like what the proper scale is, and like what like the people who are probabilistic epigenetic like scientists, like what do they look at when they're trying to find a behavior.
Like you should look through the what Turvey cites on that. Like he cites a lot of people on that, and like especially in I was gonna link something else, but I'm gonna link this first about the relational dispositional debate. But
Oh yeah.
let's see.
Cannot perceive a relational affordance, a purple peril.
Yeah, he also talks about like probabilistic epigenesis, developmental systems theory in these two papers. Well, there's three papers here. One of them's not from Turvey. Just another paper, a recent paper by Oyama. But there's some more stuff in there. You can follow like the citations in there. And like Kelty Stephen, Damien Kelty Stephen, he has a bunch of stuff on this. Well, that's how he started in ecological psychology. Like the fucking the development, like people, the development people, like uh they were like just down the hall from the fucking perception action lab at Connecticut. The uh where Turvey and Corello and all those people were, doing their thing.
Hmm.
So they like merged, like I mean they just like they had like an encounter where they started just like exchanging stuff. And probabilistic epigenesis, like Gottlieb's stuff, is like really big in like evo devo, like the whole new synthesis in evolutionary biology, yeah, where it's like evolutionary developmental, you know, ecological biology, like Evo, Devo, Eco, like those people, and they talk about like it's like a mainstream thing now, the
Hmm.
so-called new synthesis and like Evo, Devo, or Evo, Eco, Devo, or whatever.
Sounds like a mouthful.
Yeah. Damien Kelty Stephen. I haven't actually looked at what specific papers Damien Kelty Stephen he has on like Gottlieb stuff, but uh, I know like I've watched some lectures from Kelty Stephen, and I know that like I mean he talks he explains like what I just explained to you, like the history there. Yeah, yeah. I'm just like doing some research right now on that. Like here's what you can do. You can search this on YouTube. I mean on Google. This is what I searched on Google just now.
So wait, so Chimera is saying it's only relational, and Turvey is saying that it's both relational and dispositional.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
Uh huh. Damien Kelty Steve.
Basically, Camaro would say that affordances can exist without a perceiver to perceive them that exists. You know,
Oh, okay.
and Terry would say no, no, no. Affordances exist independently of any perceivers that exist to perceive them. Right? They're organism independent, but they're organism relative. Right?
Well, I mean, I mean that makes sense. I mean, when you think about the ambient array, if you like include that, because it's like, um,
Right.
all of like the shapes and stuff like that, like it's all structured lawfully. Um,
Shapes.
yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like yeah, I mean like in the full to 9 Corello paper, one of them they say, Gibson's alternative to subjectivism is, an ontology of like possibilia, right?
hmm,
Where he actually like and Turby talks all about this, like real possibilities, right? Usually possibility is seen as just like conceptual possibility, right? And but he equates lawfulness with real possibility.
hmm. Well, because yeah, because I mean, when I say shapes, I'm not talking about just like floating shapes, right? It's like,
No, yeah, you don't have the
yeah,
you don't have the terminology of ecological optics to explain to describe what you're talking about. I get it. It's understandable because Gibson had to like like work really hard on getting down the terminology for ecological optics to even start talking about shit. And he has like many papers specifically on that. So
well, yeah, because you
that's
talk about like the natural units in your notes, and it's just like, you know, the reason why something affords you something is because of all of these different things, right? It's like it's shaped like a chair is sittable because it's shaped in that way where it's sittable. Like,
yeah, but it's on dimensions that are commensurate with the same properties in the organism, right? Of the organism, like size, and like uh various other dimensions, on behaviorally relevant dimensions of length. In generally they would be of length, time, and length plus time, which is spectral, geometric, and kinematic. I mean, Turvey talks all about that. Like in various like papers, you can search like in various papers for where he explains that.
Okay.
It's also in my notes. Like in the description of information, like it's we're not gonna we don't use like the mass dimension or force, you know, because the mass dimension's been suppressed. It's been balanced out by, you know, the organism having an onboard source of forces, so it competes with the forces like of the environment. So it balances it
What would
out.
I? Hang on. Let me switch this to the full screen. Here. There we go. What would I look up? Information? Ecological information hypothesis?
Hmm?
Is this the note?
I guess I'm not watching it. Uh, it's probably in the. You can probably find a lot of it in like organism environment system. Search spectral. Yeah.
Geometric, kinematic.
Geometric.
Okay. Allowing for the full analysis of the behavior of S and CES terms. The minimal model is necessarily inclusive of descriptions, observables that capture the right degrees of freedom necessary to explain the system's behavior. Right, I keep hearing this word, right degrees of freedom.
Mhm.
I don't know what it means though. Right degrees of freedom. Any condition that limits the motion reduces degrees of freedom.
No, yeah, you don't want to. This is all unorganized right here. You don't want to look at this. That.
Okay.
Turvey has a section in lectures on perception on right degrees of freedom, but it's like
Okay.
in intro to ecopsych where they talk about asking the right questions and like where they talk about the right variables. That's what it means. You know, like
Oh, okay.
with the what's it called uh what's it called the thing that measures area.
Circumference?
No, bro. The fucking the they talked about it in like one of the first chapters, bro, where they're talking about the right variables, you know? I forget what it's called. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. It's just like I'm drawing a blank.
Let me open it up and then this is the wrong one. Right variables. How would we measure the area of a rectangle at the time by measuring the length and width and then multiplying? Appreciate the shift. The polar planimeter?
Yeah, planimeter. That's what it's called. Right. So that's basically the idea there. You know, the right degrees of freedom, right? We're looking at the appropriate scale where, you know, we have no unentailed terms, right? The right
So we can't
variables,
measure
right?
length and width, and
It would
it
be
measures the area.
terrible. It would be terrible if you tried to measure length and width with it because it can't. You can't do it. You know, just like fucking perceivers, they can't measure length and width and extrinsic units very well, just like with their eyes, you know, with their hands and stuff, you know. Polar planimeter. There's also a paper on like Runesen has a really good paper on that, where he basically started that. Like he first brought the analogy to the polar planimeter, for the analogy for perceptual systems, right? And there's also another paper on it, like from 2017, on perceive on like it's titled something like perceiver as a polar planimeter.
Hmm.
Yeah, 2018. Here we go.
Oh, here's a figure. The polar planimeter.
Perceiver
The index is
perceiver
used to
as
trace
a
around
polar
shapes,
planimeter.
and the measuring ruler directly measures the area of the shape. Huh? Area to be measured. Tracer arm. The index is used
And
to
it
trace
measures like highly irregular areas.
whole arm. Measuring ruler.
Just search up a video of it, bro.
Oh wait, this is not a thing that you guys have like just coined. It's actually like a thing.
Yeah, like it was invented in like 1960s, bro.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah. And so like with this, with this kind of idea of, perceptual systems not needing to pick up like more basic variables to construct higher order variables out of it, just, they just directly perceive the higher order variable. You know what I mean? Like affordances are primary, right? That's the whole thing there. And there's been a bunch of experiments on this, like how, you know, perception is of affordances, and like how uh like all these tests on whether we're actually good at perceiving in like extrinsic units. I mean, we're not, like giving judgments on in extrinsic terms, you know. And it's basically like you can see some stuff on this in my notes if you search in organism environment system. You can search like movability, right? Like weight is better understood as movability, and there's kind of uh like eschews the like size illusion, because it's an illusion, because it's like the whole issue is a metric that Turvey talks about, how we're assuming that the perceiver, like uh the correct version of it, the real, is like what's measured in extrinsic units, context independent units with rulers and stuff like that, not in whatever terms are relevant to the perceiver.
So is Juliet trying to like liken how we like see these things like to like the polar planimeter, where it's just kind of like we just trace.
Did you find the movability one?
I think I found it. There's only one thing here for movability. It's a footnote.
Let me see.
Movability among things.
Oh, I'm looking in the wrong paper. That's why I'm like, what am I looking for? Yeah, you typed move wrong. Just put move like MOVE and then put ABL, like so you see movable and movability. Yeah, you see? Like around here, I put a bunch of examples like together here. Like of what I wanted to put together some examples here of that. Like distance is perceived as reachability, you know?
Right. And movableness would be like if I were to like push a heavy object and it doesn't move, well then it's not movable.
Yeah, you see this paragraph here about patterns and whatever.
Yeah. Patterns. Patterns in ambient energy arrays that an animal encounters as it performs everyday behaviors are lawfully structured by its relationship to the surrounding environment. Two, not by properties of either the animal or environment in isolation, such as size, shape, distance, angle, mass, or color. This means that animals can and do directly perceive affordances, but cannot and do not directly perceive Euclidean or Newtonian properties. This in turn means that animals ought to primarily, if not exclusively, know about affordances, not properties, a hypothesis that has been invigorated and supported by diverse bodies of empirical research. For example, research investigating what and how people know about handheld objects has consistently shown how heavy an object feels uh, is ambiguously related to its mass. Under some circumstances, two objects of the same mass can feel equally heavy. Under other circumstances, two objects of unequal mass can feel equally heavy. Researchers have traditionally attempted to understand how a property mass is translated and transformed into a mental experience, heaviness. However, over the past few decades, researchers have discovered that perception of heaviness is better understood as perception of movableness, affordances for being moved. The affordances of a handheld object depend on how it resists being moved in different directions. Accordingly, studies have shown how heavy an object feels is lawfully related to the forces required to move that object. Moreover, two objects of the same mass feel unequally heavy, and two objects of the different mass will feel unequally heavy. To the extent that those objects are unequally or equally difficult to move, rather than indirectly perceiving object heaviness, people perceive affordances for moving that object. So it's not shape, it's just affordance again.
Right.
But it's a particular affordance to where the
Right.
I don't even know if geometry is the right word. Like it's relevant, it's like how flat and how big something is, I guess, you know, is relevant to sitting. Hmm. So like we see geometry, but it's not Euclidean or Newtonian, is basically what that means.
Um like well, I mean, I don't know what you mean by we see geometry, like the geometry of, you know, this like the structure of the ambient array, right? That's like the information, right? And so like the whole description is like it contains, you know, spectral geometric and, you know,
All right, we need to go
like
back to spectral.
both combined, and spectral geometric, right? Like, which is kinematic, which is space time. You know, like it's like, but they're all like defined like basically metabolically, or like the effort, you know, the effort required, you know, like the force needed, right? Like the exerted force or whatever, the for like to like the control required, the torque required, whatever, you know.
Hmm.
But like in intrinsic metrics, in natural metrics defined by the system itself, you know. And Turvey has a lot on this.
What is S? What does that mean?
It means system.
Oh, okay.
The system in the CES model. It's explained in lecture one by Turvey, and in the organism environment system note by Turvey, and above, like in like one of the first sections, like I explain it.
Hmm. Okay, so no shapes. It's just like I'm assuming it has something to do with spatial, the geometric here.
Right. But like, remember, those are like scale invariant terms, right? We're talking about the scale specific structure, which is at the ecological scale. You know, it's metabolic. We're talking about it in metabolic terms, you know, and like uh and like densities, you know, and like like distributions, you know, like of resources, you know, or like metabolic usage, right? Like exerting forces, you know, for, you know, ends, right?
Hmm.
And like I don't, to concretize this, you know, uh a good example is Turvey, like Turvey and Shaw, like they give the example of a dragonfly to concretize it. I think it's a good one. You can search in like in the ecological physics paper that they have, right? You can search that, or you can search it in lectures on perception. But I really like the way they end off the ecological physics paper with the dragonfly example. Like it runs through the whole paper, but I like how they end it off, how Turvey ends it off quite like beautifully. Here, I guess I'll link that paper. Toward an ecological physics and physical psychology. Wie gesagt.
It was at the end of the paper. Oh, is that it? Figure 11.3 depicts a dragonfly weaving its way about in a thicket of the kind typified New England in the summertime. Dragonfly feeds on small insects such as mosquitoes. In seeking its prey, the dragonfly must perceive paths through the thicket.
Search
Torque
torque.
was torque.
Torquewe. No, not W. QUE. Yeah.
Torque. Meaning torques. The dragonfly must perceive when an upcoming twig or an upcoming prey will be contacted if current conditions. Wing torques forward velocity continued, so that
This paper
predictions
also
must
has
be made
a lot of really good examples.
both with respect to the body as a unit and with respect to the most forward limbs that are used to
I linked another
propel.
paper, by the way. Yeah, this paper has a lot of really good examples. I think it also has the dragonfly example.
Alright, it's the thing of the rock again.
Oh no, they don't. It's they say torque for like swinging a baseball or like, swinging a baseball bat.
Oh,
But this section on linking optical flow field properties to action force field properties. Optical pi numbers are like Reynolds numbers. Optical pi numbers are like Reynolds numbers. That's a good example. Like, the transition from laminar to turbulent flow. Very, very cool. If you know anything about turbulent flow, that's very, very cool. And I have stuff about that also in the organism environment system note. Yeah, in the other paper they also talk about
oh wait, here it is. For the dragonfly, figure 11.3, aiming itself at a prey to see the distance to contact is to see the work required. To see the
Hmm.
terms of contact is to see the schedule of impulse forces required to see the direction to contact,
Hmm.
is to see the torques required. So the sitting would be to, I mean, I guess it would be distance to contact?
Well, what you can do is
No.
you can like put all of this stuff in here, right? And take like what I would do is literally uh copy like control a literally copy everything in the other paper, right? And
Mm.
like create a new note, you know? Create a new note in Obsidian.
Um, I'll just do it on yours. Okay.
Yeah, just go to the paper that I sent, the ecological approach to perceiving acting, a pictorial essay. Right?
Okay.
Is the OCR good on this? I'm not sure the OCR is so good on this.
It looks bad just by me controlling it. I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, it's awful.
You have that thing though that fixes it, right?
Yeah. Let me do it. Let me open it on my vault. Let me see if that works. Should fix it. It's not fixing it. Why is it not working? Oh, I mean, I guess it only fits so much into one thing, so whatever. All right, I think I got it.
Okay. Uh okay, and now also, also copy and paste the relevant parts from the other paper, the ecological physics paper. And you can also search for any other relevant like parts you want to put like in the organism environment system. No, you can control F for any other relevant notes that I've put together. Like I've copied and pasted. Like you can search torque. How is the information that is detected related to the energy that is controlled? Right. You can see that. Like if you scroll down, if you keep. I mean, not if you keep pressing down on the Control F bar. There you go. How is the information that is detected related to the energy that is controlled? You see there's two paragraphs here because it's copy and pasted from two different papers. So
Mm-hmm.
you can copy that. You could copy anything else that's relevant at all, right? And then you can put that all together. I'm teaching like I'm basically putting together a prompt for you for the chat
Uh-oh.
GPT. Because like
Okay.
remember the chat GPT conversation I linked to where I literally like I was doing this, and I was putting
Mm.
all my notes there on stuff like this, how to understand like information, right? And like the ecological physics stuff really, right? and like defining like the geometric, spectral, and kinematic terms metabolically, right? On metabolic dimensions. So like you can basically copy, like, look at the prompts in there if you can find it. You know where it is? It's in EA workshops. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Um, yeah, yeah, I don't know where it is.
But basically, you can look at my prompts in there and sort of copy one of my prompts in there, but like with your own like you see how I do it. I just like a flow of consciousness. I just say everything I want to like know about it, you know, and I want to like talk about it. I want to discuss about every all the connections I kind of like am like glimpsing at. I'm like groping at, you know what I mean?
But you gotta pin
I
that
just
thing in here,
I just
to be honest.
yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? You see how my prompts do that. So that's how you would want to write your prompt. Just like write out all the connections like you're sort of groping at, and like all the like what you're talking about, the example, like sitting on the chair, everything you're like everything you're connecting there, everything you're trying to say there, you know, and also like say like you like how I say, you know, don't, you know, gloss over anything, don't skip over anything, you know, like put a lot of details and everything, right? Flesh everything out, and like also, you know, don't introduce any like new vague terms, you know, don't do any like needless hedging, you know, like only use the terms that we've been establishing and we've been talking about, like in all and make sure to incorporate all of the stuff that we've been talking about, you know, with uh the descriptions of information at the ecological scale, and like in spectral, geometric, and kinematic terms, and you know, on defined on like metabolic dimensions. Like you want to put all of that there, you know.
I'm still trying to find it. I can't fucking find the ChatGPT
And this is what people
shit.
don't get about prompting, bro. You know, like ChatGPT is just like a fucking really sophisticated parrot. It's just a parrot, you know.
Here we go.
So unless you
What is the
specify exactly like pretty much what you want like it to say and talk about, right, and go into, right? Unless you specify, it's gonna fucking say a bunch of nonsense.
hmm.
You found it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna control A, control C all these notes in here.
No, no, no. Put together the prompt in your Obsidian note. Like you were just copying and pasting all that stuff, right? And then what you see how I do it. Look at my prompts. Look at my prompts, right? You see, look how I do it. I put all of those notes in like for context double parentheses. I say like I put double parentheses and then I say for context, right? And then I put like what's it called, like not an ellipses, like what's it called, where it's like two dots on top of each other, you know. For
Colon?
context, yeah, colon, for context, then the colon, and then you know, and then I just put all my notes in that double parentheses and I close it off, right? And but you see my instructions are at the bottom and at the top. Like I have some instructions at the top and then I have some instructions at the bottom. And then just like the for context with all the notes in between. And you can also link the papers too. You can link those papers, the ecological physics paper, the pictorial essay paper. You can
I
link,
mean, yeah, that's usually what
um,
I do.
yeah,
But
you
the
can
thing
link all
is,
these.
like,
But
I
like
think there's a
also, but
fucking
like
couple
you don't
guys
want
that
to
make
just do that. You don't
jackasses.
want to just do that. You want to do that and say, you know, uh like
Like don't gloss over
say,
anything.
only really pull from here, like to fill in all everything, to fill in all the gaps and everything, like pull from these papers,
Hmm.
and you also want to say thoroughly search through these papers to get, a full understanding and account, and like be able to explain everything, right?
Right.
And just like tell it to be like consistent with it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mhm.
What the hell is this guy's name? Skorun.
That's from
Skowron.
my second
Skowron.
name, Skowroński. Skowroński. I mean, yeah, Skowron. Skowron,
Skovransky.
sorry.
Skovran.
It's my second name. Yeah. So Skowron is okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll probably use like the papers instead, because that's what I do. Because I'll just put like a
No,
bunch of
no, you do
papers.
both. Do both. Do both. I do both. You see my prompts. I do both. You definitely want to do both.
Hmm. I have a question
Just
for
look at
you.
look
When
at my
can I?
prompts.
When,
You just look at my prompts. You already got the idea of what to do. Just look at my prompts and then put it together just like how I put together my prompts, right? And you'll have like, I mean, you can keep updating the prompt, right? Like with stuff that it says, right? Or whatever it says that reminds you of more stuff to put in the prompt, right? You can keep updating it and keep getting better responses. And what I do is I keep just copying the response or copying whatever I like from the response and putting it in an Obsidian note, and I just put it all there to organize later,
Hmm.
so I can just keep regenerating responses, right? But I have them all saved, you know?
I have one small question. Where can I post memes here? Ah, okay,
Uh,
I see it.
Uh,
in the
Okay.
memes channel, yeah.
Ah, I see it now. Yay. I can post anything I want to.
Because there's definitely a bit of a skill learning like gap, to even like get into understanding stuff about ecological physics, right? And like, just ecological optics, ecological acoustics, ecological chemistry, all of that stuff, which is all just like just trying to basically describe like the informational basis of perceiving acting, right? Like, and like give a physical like description of it, right?
well, yeah, I just want to know what we're actually, perceiving. Because if it's not like
Like
shapes or
naturalizing information.
whatever,
We're
yeah, it's
perceiving
gonna be
affordances, bro.
meaningless.
You're perceiving what you're perceiving all around you. It's affordances. It's a distribution of affordances, right? That are uh more or less easily achievable.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
bro, I'm trying to remember what you said about natural units in here, because it was like, certain affordances just imply like certain things.
What do you mean?
Ah,
No, but just like remember the whole thing about, you don't see what you think you see what you see. But again, you
I
don't see
go so
information.
far.
The information that specifies affordances, what you detect to perceive affordances, right? It's uh transparent, right? It's not what you see. It's not a mediator. It's not and it's not the affordance. It's more of a like a catalyst, but it's actually like a symmetry, like conservation. It's uh like Shaw talks all about it like as a conservation, like generalized action conservation is it is his term or his phrase. for
No, it's intrinsic. I think intrinsic measurement.
and like all the stuff I'm talking about, you can find more about in my notes for from when I like uh like copy and paste from their papers. You know, the generalized action conservation. You can find that. You can find catalyst. If you search catalyst, you can find stuff about information as is more like a catalyst.
Yeah, this. In an intrinsic measurement system, the geometric structure of the measurement space is dictated by the physical properties of the reference frame and not vice versa.
Mhm.
And that's
That's
like,
from Kugler and Turvey. That's from. You should link this paper too when you. I mean this book when you do the prompt. Hold up. Dun, 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 dun.
that's what I thought. It's like the affordance implies a certain geometric structure.
Mhm. Yeah. Here. Um. Yeah, that's from Kugler and Turvey's book. Information, Natural Law, and the Self-Assembly of rhythmic movement. Sorry, my mouth is super dry. I need to drink some water.
Yeah.
Yeah, ecological geometry is like its own sort of subset, you know, because we have spectral, uh, geometric, and kinematic, which is both like spectral and spectral and geometric like combined, you know.
Mm.
And it's all three. You need spectral, you need geometric, and uh you need kinematic. You need all three
For ecological geometry.
for ecological optics, for ecological acoustics,
Oh,
for ecological, you know.
I see.
I mean, yeah. I mean, ecological geometry is just like part and parcel like of ecological physics. I mean, it's just like part of it, you know. It's not like yeah, it's not like a subset really. It's not like ecological optics is or ecological acoustics is or ecological chemistry is, you know? I'm not just pulling these terms out of my ass, by the way. I mean, these terms are from Gibson and also
Mm.
in lectures on perception. He talks about this. I mean, Turvey talks about this in fuck lecture 21 or 22 or 23, one of those.
Okay. So I'm working on the prompt. So I'm saying, pulling from these notes in the link PDF, I want you to explain precisely without adding in any terms from outside these notes in PDF what information is relevant when we perceive a chair as sittable.
Well, like you want to be way, way, way more particular than that, right? Like I said, like, do you not remember what I said to put in there?
No, because I was looking for the fucking chat while you were explaining it.
Can you maybe look at the playback? Can you do that?
No.
Like when you were looking, when you were
Stop.
trying to find the, you'd have to stop the stream to look at the playback. I don't think that's true.
I have to stop the recording.
Would you? I don't think so.
Yeah. I can't access
You
the
can look at the
recording.
playback. Well, not the recording, the playback.
Playback of what? There's no playback.
Like OBS lets you look at the playback of what you're fucking recording. Like as you're recording it, you can still record
What?
and just look at the playback. Yeah,
No, it doesn't.
yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Search it
It's not a
up.
thing. Playback. No playback.
Can you look at the playback while recording in OBS? Still recording in OBS.
I'm gonna say no.
Yes, you can watch the playback while recording in OBS by using the replay buffer feature, which allows you to
What?
save and review short, recent snippets without stopping the main recording.
Oh. Oh, I don't have the replay buffer on, so
Bruh.
I'll turn it on.
I mean, turn it on. Yeah, you can go back. I don't know how far you can go back. I think you can go
You
back.
can only go as far as I think as it's on. So I hit save replay. Yeah, it's only gonna save like 5 seconds of it because I just turned it on.
Okay.
But it's whatever.
Okay, so I was telling you to. Fuck.
Like
Like I'm trying
obviously
to
we need to
remember.
put in like the spectral, the geometric, and the kinematic stuff in there because that's probably
Yeah,
relevant.
yeah, I was saying that, right? And define on metabolic dimensions. And like I was saying in this sentence, like it was like just like we talked about. Like you put like just like we already talked about and all we've already established and all this, right?
So define on metabolic dimensions, spectral, geometric, and kinematic.
Variables.
The dimension variables.
No, spectral, geometric, and kinematic variables.
Okay. Variables. What else?
Like just like everything you're concerned with here, you know, everything
I'm trying
at
to
all,
think.
you know, just like we already talked about. Just say like we already talked about. We already talked about all of this stuff about ecological geometry and like you know, and make sure to you know to not like uh introduce any like vague or like new
Right.
vague new terms, you know, just like we and say like we already established like all of the terms you need, and also just like make sure to thoroughly search like the papers and like just just apply what they're saying, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So no vague terms. Only search through the papers. That's all. I already added that.
No vague new terms. Don't introduce any vague new terms. Like we and say like we've already established everything you need, and like or and you can just look through all the papers. Make sure to thoroughly search through the papers and just like apply what they're saying, right? Like and like uh like use terms like comprehensively, you know, comprehensively apply what they're saying. Make sure to give a very long response packed with, you know, like details, like comprehensive details, you know, very long sentences, right? I mean, no, very long paragraphs, right? Very long response. You know how I put it, right? Like I say all this
Yeah.
stuff in my
Making
prompts.
things long paragraphs. Yeah, we've already. everything.
And use all of the, precise, and make sure to not skip over. Yeah, say like make sure not to skip over or gloss over anything. Make sure to flesh out all of the important, details, and like in all of the precise, like technical, uh like with all of like the precise technical understanding, from the resources, right?
So pull a link from these notes in the link PDFs. I want you to explain precisely without adding in any terms that are vague, and from outside these notes and PDFs, what information is relevant when we perceive a chair as suitable. Define on metabolic dimensions, spectral geometric and kinematic variables. Comprehensively apply what they're saying. Make it dense, long paragraphs. Everything you need to explain it. Everything you need to explain is everything you need to explain it is already here. So make sure not to skip or gloss over any of the details and all the precise technical explanations from the resources.
Yeah, and like the uh and explain, you know eh, and explain it, talk and give like a sentence about explaining it, like, and attributing, the scholars in question, right? All these people like Turvey and Shaw, like, you don't have to name them, right? Just like of the papers and everything that we're talking about, right? And the like
Hmm.
researchers or whatever, right? You know what I mean? And like
So like,
explain their work, like tell them like to explain their work on this,
okay. So explain the work of the scholars you are
explain their
referencing.
work on, you know uh like like you want to say explain their work on, like, like this is important, like sentence, right? Because then it wants to, be very like consistent, right? And it wants to search, right, itself, like for what they would say, right?
Hmm. So we could say explain in the terms that the scholars would give.
Right, no, explain it in the way that uh the scholars and researchers would, and like and explain their work on this, right? Explain their work on all of this, right? Just keep it general, right? But like keep it referencing to them,
Okay. Yeah, so explain in the way that the scholars and researchers would, and explain their work on all of this.
Yeah.
Okay. That should be all of
I
them.
mean, like the referenced scholars and researchers. Yeah, you want to be clear about that. The referenced scholars and researchers.
Reference scholars and researchers would, and explain their work on this. Okay.
On all of this. Say, like, explain their work on all of this.
Yep, and explain their work on all of this.
Yeah. I mean, that should be good. If you have all the notes you want to put in the for context, uh like double parentheses,
Do I? I don't know.
I mean, just like whatever you think is relevant, right? You can find in my notes, like in the organism environment system. No, you can control F for a bunch of stuff, because I just copied and pasted a bunch of stuff in there, right? Or you can also do it in there, in the whole chat GPT chat, because like I put all of my notes in there. Like I put a bunch of relevant notes in there, you know
Well, yeah, it
and you see,
probably will reference all the notes that you put in there already.
well, like you see, I mean, I had to repeat it several times, like like it's always best to include it, right? And not just like leave it open for the bot to whatever, just like whatever's relevant, you think is relevant, you can control F in there, and you want to include it for sure.
So maybe look up
like the spectral kinematic stuff, right?
oh yeah, because it looks like some of the stuff that you linked, I also linked.
And also about like the mass or force, like you could control it for that, the stuff about that.
Hooking dissipative dynamics onto kinematic fields.
But you have your prompt saved, right?
In Obsidian, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Because sometimes it can get lost if you just leave it there in the chat bar.
Yeah, no, this is the Obsidian vault that I have on my second monitor.
Okay. I mean, this is like exactly what I what I put together this chat for. I mean, this conversation with ChatGPT for, and then I linked it for people to do this. So I mean, it's good that we can record us doing this, right?
Let's
Because
see.
it can be very hard to understand the basics because it's spread out a lot over a large body of literature, right? Uh, there's a large body of work over which like you have to like integrate a lot of things.
Yeah, I see you have to fucking do it twice. It's kind of funny.
Hmm?
The fact that you have to paste it twice. Um, that an arrangement of surfaces affords an animal. That's probably important.
And you can also put my finished notes in there, right? Some of my finished notes like I've done, and some of my other prompts. You can put like some of the finished notes, with the seat stuff, the sitting stuff, and whatever else you thought was relevant that I put together about, information, right? And like geometry stuff, natural units stuff. You can put all of that in there.
Right. Geometry.
You probably also want to search. You could search in the Chat GPT chat, like for anything that's like metabolism stuff. Probably want to add that because I put together all of that. All of the things that I had on that.
Is this why you guys are so obsessed with metabolic health?
What?
Dude, fucking
No.
Tabby and Wee, they love repeat.
I'm,
Like, it's like
it's like that has nothing to do with anything.
metabolically includes processes both inside and outside the body.
No, I'm in the Chat GPT chat, bro. Like through all of my other prompts, you can, control F in the Chat GPT chat.
Metabolic.
That's what I was telling you. For like you want to put like metabolism, so you can get both. So not like type the whole word. But you see how many how many there are there? And you can also search
Yeah.
like spectral in there or kinematic in there. You know, geometric in there, geometry or whatever in there. You know, you can search any all of that stuff in there. So yeah, I mean, put together your prompt, bro. This is the it's a skill, bro. Prompting, you know. So you're learning it right now, and this is exactly what I do for prompting, and that's why my notes are so disorganized.
Okay. I think that's fine. I mean, I have a lot of notes in here.
I mean, you sure? You sure you got everything like everything you wanted to put in there? You know about like the seat stuff. You know about like all of the stuff like the examples. You know on like step rise. That's all in there on the pictorial essay. I think the pictorial essay stuff. You know the step risers. You know all of that.
Where's that
Uh,
paper? The whole paper we linked?
yeah. There's a lot of stuff in there. Uh, I don't know, like anything else you wanted to put in there about like geometric stuff, you know, the spectral, geometric, and kinematic like stuff about the alternative descriptions, right? If you want to put any of that in
Yeah,
there.
I put this paragraph where
Yeah, but that's not it. That's not the only like you understand like this the spectral geometric kinematic thing, right? That explanation
hmm.
of alternative descriptions, it's like given in so many different papers, right? So I collected like all of the different like explanations they've given in different contexts and like what they're saying, you know what I mean, to get like a full understanding. And I put it all in the chat GPT chat. I think I put a lot of it in there, so you can control F for a lot of it in there.
Geometric spectral.
Oh, and another paper you want to link in your prompt, right, is probably this one. Da-da-da. Probably this one.
Okay. So, okay. What papers? Papers.
Or and this one too.
That
You
paper,
know,
that paper.
you can link this one too. You're gonna link the pictorial essay paper, the ecological physics paper, right? The information natural law, the naturally developing systems one, the I don't know. I don't know. I have like pro, so I can put like 10 papers. I don't know how many papers you can put.
I have pride, don't worry.
Okay, but like you have to download them from the drive, like so they're actually like PDFs you can attach to the message, you know,
Yeah.
to the prompt.
So we can do perceiver as polar planimeter.
You don't need to. No,
Perceiver
you don't need to put that
planimeter.
one. I mean, you don't need to put the polar planimeter one. Put the one above it, the toward an ecological physics one. It's a drive
Uh,
link. Yeah,
this one? This is the
yeah.
avoidance and perspective control and outline of the ontology.
No, then you're looking at the one that's right above the pictorial, or yeah, above the pictorial essay one. Never mind.
Tutorial essay one.
Right there. Ecological approach to perceiving and acting a pictorial essay.
Oh yeah, that. I have that.
There's a drive link right above it. Right,
Yeah,
like
that
literally,
was the
it
one I
looks
was
like
gonna
it's
link.
no, it looks like the same message, bro. The drive link, it looks like it's in the same message as the fucking pictorial essay one.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yes, because one's a drive link, the other is just a PDF.
Okay, so that one, information, natural law, Kugler, Kelsey, Turbo,
The pictorial essay one.
pictorial essay.
And you can put this one on links between active perception and control of action, I think.
What about permissive perceiving?
No, you don't need to put that one there.
Lectures on perception.
I mean, you don't need to put it there, bro. It's just this is fine.
Okay.
This is good. You don't need to put these. I mean, if you want to put another one, you could put this one. Hold up. You can put. You can put. You can put this one here. Hold up. Get to VC text.
Intelligence from first principles. On that. Because we have 5. So that should be fine.
Yeah. And you wanna like you probably want to search an organism environment system. Search for anything that I put like dimensions or like you know the one about like size, and grasping with one or two hands, that paragraph. You remember that paragraph?
Hmm.
You probably want to
Or
put that
grasping with
one.
2 hands is underscored by systematic demonstration.
Like that whole paragraph or like I don't know what's around it. If anything around it is important too.
The chief difficulty that the ecological approach must overcome is semantic prejudice. I don't really know if that's.
But yeah, you definitely want to put the paragraph there on like the size of the hand, right? The same it's like it says like the same property, right? In the cup and the same property in the perceiver, right?
Okay. I think that's good. So we can put these
Also the one
in
on
here.
seat, right? You put the paper on like it's perceived like as such, like it's sittable and it's perceived as such. It's a seat. It constitutes a seat, you know?
I don't know where that is.
Search sittable.
How do I spell that?
Search seat. Shit.
Seat.
There. Sit on a bowl. That's why you didn't find it.
Okay, we'll get that paragraph.
Take the footnote notion there at the end. Take that away, probably.
What's up, Sitay?
Yeah.
You heard me?
Yeah.
Yep.
How's it going?
We're just prompting right now. I'm trying to answer.
I mean, another paper you can put. Remember that paper that I linked? I like that in that paragraph. I told you to look at the figure for. You know. Cool.
There's a lot of figures, bro. So I don't know what figure you're talking about.
Here, I'll give you paper to put. Where the fuck is it? I just gotta fucking look at my files. 1 second. I'm gonna be able to find it in a second. Here we go, and here somewhere. Where the fuck? Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here we go. I got it. This one. Boom.
okay. Okay, that's one more paper.
It's by Wagman and Blau too.
Alright. Okay, I think that's everything. I think we can copy and paste the prompt.
Yeah.
We'll just see what it does.
And you have all the notes there in like double parentheses, right?
No. I have the top part saying for contact.
No, so yeah. You want to close off the double parentheses. Like at the end.
Okay.
Not there. Like yeah, there. Or you can put it like a bit above, right? You can, and then you can like put these other notes in uh like more context, or like more, or like important context, you know, instead of for context. So they're separated, you know?
What do you mean?
Like if you end the double parentheses like at the end here of like a couple of paragraphs up, you know? A couple of paragraphs, go, oh man. Before all of it, like yeah, like before all these separate paragraphs, like you can, like wherever you think it's like best to like separate it, you know?
I don't know where's the best spot to set up. I mean, like, there's this paper, which is supposed to be the one that we pasted the entirety of.
Okay, fine, yeah, just put it at the end, put it at the end, put it at the end. Just put it at the end, bro. I'm not gonna teach you my advanced prompting tricks.
Okay, bro.
Can you scroll to the right? Can you
No.
scroll there? Okay, then you gotta delete all the like you gotta press X here all on all these. And oh man. Okay, copy and paste the text, the whole text.
Okay. And
What are you
then
doing? What are you doing? Why did you do that? Why did you do
put all the
that?
papers back.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that after.
What? Okay.
Okay, now show in text. Like once that loads, put show in text. There. Now put the papers. There we go. Just wait for the papers to all like load. Just wait a minute. Maybe there's some still loading you just can't see. You know?
Okay. I think this is good.
Yeah, if you think that prompt is good, you know, you don't want to say anything else in the prompt about what you specifically want it to talk about.
Alright, I'm sending the prompt. Holy shit. So it's a good thing that it's taking a long time. Oh,
Yeah. Just let it load and you see if you see it like not kind of like and if you see some ways you can make it focus on what you want to focus it on more, you know, or you want it to expand on specific things, like elaborate on specific things, then you just update the prompt. But you could keep on copying its responses, right? And just putting them in a note, in a separate note, you know, and just saving all of them, you know?
hmm.
So you can keep refining it and refining it. And like if I don't know if you can see how many times I refined all the other prompts. I did it like I did each of them probably multiple times. Okay, it looks like it's finished generating. You don't have to read this aloud. Don't you? I mean, you can have ChatGPT read it aloud for you if you want. It has the read aloud thing, you know. If that's what you want to do, I can't hear it, so that's like for you, you know. I don't know if the stream can hear it. Maybe the stream can hear it.
Yeah. Bro, why isn't that working? Oh, it's
It's
fucking
loading.
loading.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's buggy. Just read it like yourself.
Watch it just like turn on midway through. Okay.
If anything pops out to you, you know, then you can like then talk about it, I guess, out loud.
Tail the Okay. I don't know. This seems vague.
Yeah, if it seems vague, then you can tell it to go. Make sure to tell it to go into really deep, specific detail. You know. and and expand on like what that means. You can like what it's saying. If you like some of what it's saying, then you can put that in there, or you can like uh there's like a bunch of different stuff in like the paper that I just linked that you can put. Like on how like in figure 2.3, you can put the description of figure 2.3. That might help. Like just add that description onto your prompt. Like not even in the for context part, just put that onto your prompt. In the predominant approaches to perception, the animate the just say organism independent laws of standard physics and geometry are used to process are used to understand the process of perceiving and perception action, right?
Wait, what are you
Here, here, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Bro, I need to store all these PDFs in some folder, man. It's clogging up my downloads.
Yeah, and you should just like from here. You see in what I linked in that paper that I just linked, that paper, the most recent one.
Perception by effort,
Yeah.
touch, and lawful effort.
Yeah, in that paper, look in that paper. I would say copy and paste everything from page 5, like past, like you go to page 5 of the PDF, right? Yeah, go there. You see where it says evolutionary puzzle 2. You see evolutionary puzzle 2 on that page
Oh, wait,
on the right
evolutionary
side.
puzzle and evolutionary puzzle 2.
Right. So from what is perceived, copy there and then go just like scroll down, all the way, like keep scrolling and all the way until the ecological approach to perceiving by touch. No, don't copy ecological. No, don't. I said stop right before the ecological approach to perceiving by touch. Yeah.
Where is it?
Keep going. You passed it. It's right. I mean, right
Oh,
there. Yeah, stop there and copy all that. Yeah, and put that in your for context. You know, or just put it in it like on top of you, like just like go down 2 lines after your for context, and then do a double parentheses, right? Do another double and closed parentheses, and then put more important context colon, and then just put that in there.
or just put like more context.
Put more important context. But definitely say important. Put more important context. And then just put that in there, right? Enclosed in double parentheses. And then I would say add this on top of your paragraph. I'll just like type this in the chat in VC text, and then you can just paste it literally like at the end of your instructions paragraph. Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, look at this. I'm just editing slightly what they said here. Yeah. Just put this in your instructions. Like literally put this at the end of your instructions. Like add it onto the paragraph.
I don't know. I'm just going and copying from the response. And just
Don't
going
don't
as
wait. What are you doing? What are you doing? This seems vague. Don't say that. You're just editing the prompt.
Bro.
What are you doing here? Where's the prompt? Where's the
Editing what
instructions?
prompt?
Where's the
They're up
instructions?
here.
Why are they up there? They should be after the.
Right. And then at the end of this, add this.
Sorry, my dad called me and said he's gonna come tomorrow.
Oh damn.
You said I mean there's like extra space there by accident, like at the beginning of that sentence. Yeah, there. Now just copy, like edit, like copy everything here, copy everything. Right? Yeah, just copy everything.
Okay.
And like I don't know, like you said it was being too vague, so like tell it to go like you I don't think you put like don't skip or gloss over anything. Make sure to go like make sure to flesh out every single point in great detail. Like this is what you should put, you know?
I already did. I highlighted it just now.
Yeah, okay. Uh yeah, I mean like maybe just say it again. Repeat it in its own sentence. Like no, like before in the predominant approaches. Like just say like flesh out, like so you in that sentence you're saying like flesh out every single point, like in great detail, you know, in great comprehensive detail. Flesh out every single point in great comprehensive detail. Yeah, like is that a new sentence?
New? No, it's a comma, not a period.
Yeah, do a new sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, flesh out every single point in great comprehensive detail and make sure it all flows logically, right? Logically and not and like don't just like
Not
something
just
about
me.
like not just like don't uh say anything that's like just surface level. Yeah, that's what I usually put. Like you can even look in my prompts. Like you can control left in my chat in the chat
Not
GPT
be
chat for like
vague or surface level.
no. Don't say it like that. Like you want to say don't say anything that's just surface level.
Don't say anything that is just surface level.
Please say please go really deep uh into it, right? Or something like that. Please go really deep into it. You know, yeah,
Okay.
like talk like you're talking to like a child and you need to like say everything that you want them to do very explicitly, you know what I mean? And very simply.
Okay. Do I need to link the papers again? Do I need to link the papers again?
For fuck's sake, bro. Who is giving these people these fucking roles? The fuck?
What role?
Dumb fucking roles. Like Grayson. It's a fucking specific role for a specific person. They just gave this guy that role, for some reason. And they didn't give him any of the proper roles.
Oh yeah, I was asking, why do you have it so that all of the roles can be pinged?
What do you mean, bro?
All of the roles can be pinged by absolutely fucking anyone.
Because that's how you make a thread in philosophizing or economics, and then you fucking say something, and you ping a role.
But isn't that just gonna make it so that people get spam pinged?
No, no. It has not happened. So no.
I mean, it can happen, is what I mean.
But like, why? If anybody does it, I'll just fucking like ban them.
Okay.
I mean, like I tell people to like ping the roles when they're making a thread in philosophizing economics or whatever to make sure, like, to ping the roles. Literally, I tell people that every time. So that's what they're for.
Well, they do it in general as well.
Yeah,
But
and they shouldn't. They shouldn't be doing that.
well, that's what happens when you make it pingable by everybody.
Well, you're a mod. Tell them to fucking stop.
Bro, literally some guy pinged the Rothbardian role last night, and I was like, how the fuck do you have permissions to do that? What the hell?
There's no fucking permissions like for doing it. Like, there's no permissions I can give or take away for that. Like, it's just there. Like, just like because he didn't know. Like, just tell him not to fucking do that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then anybody who gets pinged and sees that, they'll be like, "Oh, he said don't fucking do that, right?" He's like, so it was like I should just ignore it, and like I know not to do that, right? It's very simple.
Anyway, well,
And like so people don't like instead of like coming in and being like, "Oh, I'm so annoyed, I'm gonna turn off all my pings in the server or whatever," it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave the server or whatever." Like they see that like a mod is like saying, "Don't fucking do that," it's not allowed.
okay.
No, bro, no, don't, no, fuck,
Bro, why?
jeez, delete, delete it.
What?
Go up and edit your last prompt.
What does
Edit.
that mean? This?
You see yes, edit. Okay, now go scroll up again, right? Control A, right? And then just paste. Boom.
Okay. And then send?
Yeah, unless you want to copy that response that you already got and like put it in your notes so you can save it.
I mean, I don't really know.
Did
It's
you
kind of
read
vague.
did you read any did you read any of it?
I mean, I was kind of upset about this because it was vague. It was like very vague.
Yeah, I mean
Didn't
if
really explain anything.
like like double down like on the surface level saying like say like that's really important, just please don't say anything, nothing at all that's on just surface level, go really like, yeah, you want to emphasize it, you repeat it, and then they won't do it, they'll make sure not to do it, like it'll be like a rule, like they like this is how you prompt well, like go back to your prompt, go up back to your prompt, right, and say like after the surface level
Well, yeah,
point,
we
say that's,
already did. Yeah. Yeah. Surface
yeah, but
level.
say
We didn't go
that
really
that
deep into
that
it.
that that is really really important, just like do a whole nother sentence that is, no, what are you doing, do another sentence, a whole nother sentence that is really important, please nothing that is surface level. Please say nothing that is surface level. Boom. That's good.
Okay. Then
And you see, now it's taking longer to read the documents. It's taking a lot longer. You see? It's like, all right. You caught me. you gotta explicit, like you gotta make it explicit, bro. You know? Now you can tell it's really like applying what it got from the documents, you know? See if the read aloud works now. I mean, either way, I can't hear it. So
that probably won't work, but
that's weird. Maybe because you're streaming. Or not streaming, recording.
yeah, it's shy.
Who just joined?
The dawn.
Who? Oh,
The
the Dawn?
dawn.
What's up, Dawn?
Yo,
Yo, what's up? What's up?
you talking about philosophy?
We're talking about not philosophy because we're talking about something very like technical.
Like physics?
Yeah, pretty much. Basically.
Well, I'm a bit-
Alright.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you see like things it touches on, you can then put that in, you can then refine the prompt again and tell it to elaborate even more on those things, right? On like specific points, right? You can just uh like ask the general question, like put the point in its general form, and like tell it to elaborate more on it. And also you can talk about things like maybe it misses stuff, about the, uh how is information related to the energy that is controlled, right? How is information that is detected related to energy that is controlled? That stuff. You can tell it to, you know, elaborate. Like you can include that as well. Like you know how it's like now it's elaborating on like the geometric stuff because you explicitly said that, right? Because you explicitly told it to. You get what I'm saying? So you should say like after it elaborates on all those variables, right? Or you should also add like refine into your prompt like to also talk about the uh how is the information that is detected related to the energy that is controlled, because that's an important point.
So what you said about general relativity in your notes, it seems kind of like that, where it's like we're measuring things in terms of relation to you. Like it said
Hmm.
here somewhere about the seat being like um, the seat surface extent relative to pelvic width and thigh support, seat depth
Hmm.
relative to the body's lowering and stabilization, back orientation relative to trunk support.
Yeah, and maybe you should refine your prompt also by you can look in my organism environment system note, look for uh control F for action scaled, action hyphen, that's the word. I mean, that's the word for it, right? Hyphen scaled or
Action
body
scaled or body
scaled.
scaled metric.
Yeah, you can search for body scaled or action scaled. There's a bunch of stuff on that, like from various papers. And maybe without the hyphen too. You want to search for everything that you like, literally just like copy and paste everything that mentions action scaled or body scaled, right? With or without hyphens, right? And then just copy and paste all of that into another for context thing.
So do you think I should make another prompt or edit the prompt again?
Edit the prompt again, yeah. Because each time you edit it, like it remembers that you added more, and it puts more focus on what you just added.
Hmm.
So like yeah, just copy and paste everything in my notes that you see about action scaled or body scaled. Oh, it even talks about that affordance. Yeah, it says body scaled there. But like yeah, you want to make it. You want to explicitly give it more stuff about that, right? Everything it says in my notes on that, you want to copy and paste in another for context like thing, right? And remember also, refine your instructions to also to say also talk about how the information that is detected is related to the energy that is controlled. Just say that, right? Because that point is in a lot of papers and in one of the papers you linked. So maybe you want to write that down, right?
So energy
How is the information that is detected related to the energy that is controlled? But this looks good, so you would want to copy and paste this response. I mean, copy and paste this response in a note, right? So you can save it
yeah, it even goes
because it
on the
look
kinematic. So it goes on each variable. Okay, this is
right, right,
really
right.
good.
And for the spectral variables, right? You can also bring in stuff about biospectroscopy. You can look in my organism environments notes for biospectroscopy because that's how we get the spectral variables, right? It's with homeokinetics, right? and that's in one of the papers you linked in the naturally developing systems paper. There's a lot of stuff in there about homeokinetics, but there's also stuff in lectures on perception. But yeah, I have it all here. I have it all here, so you can copy and paste. Like literally, what I would do is you can scroll up, probably from here. You can scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. I would copy and paste in this section. You see?
This whole section.
Yeah. I would just put that in another for context, right? Context on biospectroscopy. Right, yeah, you can put this in in a for context on biospectroscopy. Keep going. There's more. There's more. Just get it all right there.
Holy crap!
There's where it kind of ends. Like before there, that's like the act stuff from Swenson. So before there is where it ends. You know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like right there.
So put that in a for context on biospectroscopy. Colon. Oh, actually, you want to include this paragraph below too. These paragraphs below is probably are good to include
So important context on biospectral.
for the spectral variables. You probably want to put that biospectroscopy for the spectral variables.
Where'd it go? No, it's not there.
You can just control F, bro. Yeah, for the spectral variable.
For the spectral variable.
Which is just temporal variables. Yeah,
Which is who?
which is just temporal spectral. It's just temporal. Okay, yeah, yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. But also, you go back to where you got that from. Go back to where you got that from, where you were just at. That you would probably want to include the paragraph below that. Yeah, that paragraph. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You probably want to include all of that actually.
Bruh.
Well, no, 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 no. You don't. You don't gotta include that. Just include this. Yeah, this is good. You can include that. Go down. I think does it talk about Ibero
Talk about who?
in that? No, no, no. You're good. You're good. You're good. Wait, no, no. It does. It does. You see cycling materials and energies. And yeah, just copy all of this. Copy all of that. Copy all of that. Yeah, until the dotted line there, end there. Yeah, that's where it ends. So include that in the context there on biospectroscopy. Press enter 2 times and then control base. Yeah, control F, V. I mean control V. And then what else? Add to your instructions, right? Uh, where did you say? Yeah, geometry. Say again there. Like also talk about how the information that is detected is related. Yeah, you already wrote it down there. It. You don't have to put a question mark. I don't know. That's not really a question. And I mean, do you want to include the action scaled and body scaled unit stuff for my notes?
Thought we already did.
I don't think you did. Like, just put it. up like just put it together in one of the other in the first four context one, right? Just put it at the end of there. And anything you get on the action scaled and body scaled units, just put that all there. Yeah, there, or you can just put it in like do another four context on action scaled and body scaled units or metrics. Yeah, just copy and paste everything that mentions that with or without hyphens, both action scaled and body scaled units. Because there's a lot of important discussion on this. There's multiple papers discussing this, right? Like, and there's some debate around it. That's been like debate in the sense of like we need to refine our ideas here, right? And Turvey and like Fadgen and Warren, they wrote a paper together doing that. So there's a whole like line of research surrounding this. Yeah, include all those paragraphs there. Like those three paragraphs, probably just include them. Right. Control F for action scaled if there's any like there's you saw there was like action scaled but like without hyphen, you know.
Yeah, but body scale was here hyphen, so it's probably already here.
Yeah. But some I remember there's some with action scaled and not body scaled. Or am I tripping?
Pretty sure body scale.
Is that it?
No, body scale is here. Body scale.
You already got that one.
I just got information is. I think this might be the one without body scale.
I mean, I don't know if you need to put that one though. Do you? Yeah, you can
Just
put
uses
that
your
one.
field park.
I mean, sure, you can put that one. And you could probably put the paragraph below it too. Yeah. Yeah, you could put the paragraph below it too. On resource availability and schedule. You see how like they talked about, uh the sched like go into the like copy and paste that. Yeah, copy and paste that one and then go into the ecological physics paper and where they say the like schedule of like whatever, where they say the schedules in there, then copy and paste that right after. Search schedule. Okay, search torque because it was when you searched torque you found it.
Wow.
Okay, something's wrong here. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
Okay, then search schedule again. Maybe it'll work. There we go.
there we go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like maybe you want to copy and paste that whole thing about the dragonfly, you know?
Well, I'm pretty sure this is already here, actually. Oh, no, it's not.
But did you put the paragraph that was below that one
Below in the paper?
in my notes?
What do you mean?
There. That paragraph. You
Oh,
didn't put that one.
this one.
Hmm. and yeah. Sure, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Sure, yeah. If you wanna, I would say like you can edit it. You can edit it, but you can like not press send, right? And then you can finish reading this one, right? The response you already have. That's what I usually do. Like I edit while I'm reading it, like, and I keep changing it while I'm reading it, right? And then when I'm done reading, I hit send.
I feel
Like
like it would
I
just
keep
be if I
like
edit it
I
in
see
Obsidian.
like I see stuff that I want to talk about more, right? And focus on more, right? And like I see like lines of like thinking that it's like sort of going down, right? And I can make that explicit. Like if I make that explicit in my prompt, then it'll look for more on that, right? You could also make explicit in your prompt. Make sure to spend a really long time searching through the documents available, the available documents. Yeah, you can add that to the end of your prompt too. Make sure to spend a really long time searching through the available documents. And like and applying what they say. Yeah, yeah. Make sure to spend a lot of time thoroughly searching through the available documents and applying what they say. Or yeah, make sure to spend a very long time.
Okay. Spend a lot of time thoroughly searching through the available documents and applying what they say. Um,
Or search say your files, right? Your files. Yeah. Instead of available documents, you could say your files.
my files.
Or yeah, your files. Say your.
They're your files and applying what they say.
Huh?
Like this?
Yeah, if you think that's better than available documents. Yeah, but
No,
I
I think
think maybe a
available
bit.
documents is probably better.
Yeah, yeah, through the available documents. You forgot D. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good prompt. It looks like yeah, it looks like nonsense. It would be like it wouldn't be a good prompt to a person, but it's a perfect prompt to ChatGPT.
I wanna read some of this, try to see what
Yeah.
else I'm like and don't like about it though. Oh, we were on this. So by scale and a foreign scale, the Terrain Corell's Brink example is the clean template. Use flow field. May specify a brink behavior relevance of the brink is captured. Until scaling factor is brought in.
Mhm. Oh, and you also want to say uh something about ecometrics in your instructions. Ecometrics and scaling.
Ecometrics.
Yeah. Ecometrics and scaling. Yeah. Say just like just include that in your, you know how you included spectral, geometric, and kinematic variables, and what's it called, metabolic dimensions, right? You also want to include, ecometrics, ecometrics, and scaling.
Also talk about
No, like include it, like where you're saying all of that stuff, about like spectral, kinematic, and all that stuff, and
social kinematic
and
variables and ecometrics.
And where you say metabolic dimensions, say like metabolic dimensions, like uh already been established, or like the force to whatever, or the torque to whatever, the schedule, say like the schedule of forces, the schedule of, you know what I mean?
Where what? I'm confused.
Like say stuff like this, like the schedule of forces, and the exerted, force or whatever, say all of that stuff, those terms,
Schedule of forces.
the schedule of forces, like the schedules of exerted forces and all that, and resource availability. And you put the stuff, you put ecometrics and scaling in there, right? Because it's gonna remember that we talked about this in previously in the whole discussion.
Okay.
I mean, this is exactly how I do my prompts, bro. Because I know what's important to include, right? But it's hard to get it all together, right? Yourself, if you're not like
This
so
kinematic variable.
informed.
The kinematic variable. It reminds me of like a specific phenomenon. I think everybody's experienced once in their life, where it's like if you get up really fast, like you'll feel like very dizzy for like a moment, or
Mhm. Right.
like it's almost like there's like black splotches on your vision as well sometimes. Like I get that.
hmm Yeah, I mean, postural time to contact. That's a kinematic variable.
Maybe that's worth putting in there. In the notes in the context.
You're already good. You don't want to add anything else, I don't think.
Okay. Special variables of stability are the depot dimension. Yeah, I'll definitely copy these variables into a note. Copy what it said.
Yeah, just copy the whole response. And what I like to do is I like to you can put like you can surround text in double equal signs, and it highlights it. So I like to highlight like certain things that it says, that I like the way it says it, It's the first one. Yeah. And it's best to do the highlighting while you're reading it the first time. So
Mm.
like while you're reading it this first time, it's best to do the highlighting as you're going through it. Like just like so you can like quickly scroll because you'll have like probably like 20 responses saved, right? So you can just scroll through and see everywhere you've highlighted, you know? That's what I like to do. And so you can just keep moving forward, you know? And going through like 10 or 20 different responses like this until you're satisfied, right? I think it's really good for integration.
Okay, let's go back to the. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do the new prompt, and then
Yeah, yeah, you can do
I'll read
that
the rest
too.
of that response later.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too. If I have a really good prompt, like I want to see what it says, you know. It's reading and then it's thinking and then it's reading. It's gonna read for a
Wow,
while.
guys, you're really making me work.
If you tell it to spend a long time reading, it will. That's cool.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
Once you start making some really good prompts, it starts like getting really, really good. And each of the responses are usually unique, so you can keep reloading even the same prompt,
Hmm.
and you'll get a bunch of different stuff. Gibson information, not Shannon information. And you should probably change sittable to sit onable in your next prompt.
Perceive a chair as sit. Yeah. What can be done, how it can be done, and when it can be
Yeah, the how is basically the kinematic variable.
Okay. Must specify whether the surface camera. I figured it was all three of the things, but just in like a
No, yeah, that's why we have length, we have time, and we have length plus time, right? And we need all three, right? And that's like
right.
weird to think of. Well, if we already have length, we already have time, then we already have length plus time. Like, no, we don't. We're talking about different things, right? The kinematic variables are the how, like the torque, uh, the torque required, right, to catch the prey, right?
Hmm.
Like the force needed, right?
Must specify whether the surface can receive the organ into the body without a harmful collision. Whether the height, depth, width, orientations of relations are commensurate with the organism's leg length, hip height, torso dynamics, mass distribution, flexibility, and strength. I like the use of commensurate here. That definitely makes more sense. Whether the approach path permits the necessary orientation of descent, whether the support surface and back, arms, legs remain stable under load, and whether the action is metabolically available in the organism's current state. This is why an informant cannot be captured by the chair alone or by the organism. Oh, wait, oh, organism alone. The affordance, opportunity for
Remember
I
what
guess.
remember what
Hmm.
remember what Turvey says about the Anolis lizard. What constitutes a perch for the lizard?
I don't know that, but I was about to say, it reminds me of the granularity thing, which is
Hmm.
like we see not in the fine grain but in the coarse grain, like the whole. And so all of these like
Yeah, you
different
can
things that it's
search.
listing here, the relation of seat, back, arms, and legs to one another as a layout, right? Those are all fine grained things and like as like one particular thing, but we see all of it, and that's all relevant to
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
onable.
Yeah, instead of just sit onable, you should say perceive a seat and what are its like affordance properties instead of saying just sit onable, right? Because it's not just sit onable, it's like it must be, right? For it to constitute a seat, right?
Hmm.
It must be like view from like it should be like it should be viewable, right? You know what I mean? Like from a certain like distance, right? Or something like that, right? Like the Anolis lizard like perceives a branch on which to perch, right? With the perch constitutes it must be like view fromable in respect to seeing both prey and predators. It must be jump offable with accuracy and must be sprint onable with maximal speed. These defining properties relate to the lizard's leg length and the branch's breadth texture.
So what should I put instead of like sit onable? It should be more like
Like what constitutes a seat at the ecological scale, and it's
What
such that
information is relevant when
it's perceived as such. What information is relevant? You could put on what information is relevant for perceiving sit onable, right? Perceiving a thing as sit onable, and then on top of that, you should say and what constitutes a seat at the ecological scale, right? As a complex particular, an affordance. What constitutes a seat at the ecological scale as a complex particular, comma, an affordance. And you can put in parentheses like the perch of an anolis lizard. And you could put this in the
I don't know how to spell it.
Anolis.
Whoop. No.
Here you can find it in my organism environment system notes, anolis, or you can just copy and paste what's either in lectures on perception, or you can just copy and paste what's in this paper that I put in VC text. I think lectures on perception says like something similar about the anolis lizard. Yes.
Put this in the notes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What's said in lectures on perception? You probably want to put that definitely. For the lizard anolis, yeah. Yeah, put both. You know, you copy and paste like from the in that paper that I put in VC text. Copy from what is it? Copy from the limpet. Copy from the limpet to the end of that section. In the paper in the paper in VC text, bro. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to add more shit to it.
Just add it like where the action scaled stuff is.
Right here.
Right. So in the paper I linked in VC text, search anolis. Right, and then just like in that section there, perceiving action possibilities. Like uh da. The affordance hypothesis. Copy from the affordance hypothesis all the way down to nutritionally. So scroll up to the affordance hypothesis.
Affordance hypothesis.
Yeah, just yeah. Like control, like copy the affordance hypothesis. Copy that. Yeah. And then scroll down all the way to nutritionally. Should be right there. Nope. Yeah.
Nope.
Nutritionally, right there. You see it? Yeah.
Yep.
And copy and paste that, and then go on lectures on perception. What Turvey says there is also really important because he says complex particular there in the paragraph in lectures on perception that mentions anolis.
Right here. Yeah.
Right, you see that paragraph?
Yeah. Complex particular. Consider what counts for a branch.
Yeah, just copy and paste that paragraph about a guiding conjecture. And you can also You can also put the next you can also copy and paste the next section. Copy the next section right below that paragraph.
That's wrong.
Yeah, so you should copy that paragraph and the section right below it. It's only like 2 paragraphs. Or actually you can just copy the first paragraph of that section. You don't need that second paragraph. No, copy the paragraph above it too, the section.
Hmm?
What are you doing? Copy the paragraph above the section and the paragraph below it in like one go, you know?
I already have the one above it. Don't I?
But like so you can get the section title too. Jeez, bro, what are you doing?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Just those 2 paragraphs from a guiding conjecture to self-organizing systems.
A guiding conjecture.
Yes. Right. Now, like, just replace what you already copied that first paragraph. So just do that. There. All right. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, and you put it in the instructions, like like the perch of the Anolis lizard, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Good. 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 Or say the Anolis lizard, because we're referencing it. We're referencing that note. Good. 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 So you're gonna get stuff on that. It's gonna explain it just like it explains the Anolis lizard perch. It's gonna talk about it in terms of it's gonna like as a complex particular. So that's good. Are you already skipping ahead to the geometric
Mhm.
variables? Did you already read the geometric variables? Oh, you already read that. I guess
Yeah,
because you're not
geometric.
reading aloud. You're not reading aloud. I don't know what you're
Geometric.
reading.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about. Oh yeah, we were talking about the grain stuff about this here. Hold
Yeah.
on.
I mean, you can also put that the granularity point. There's just a
Yeah.
few like there's just like 2 paragraphs you can put on that that'll just like really enrich the response. Uh, like right you can put it right after the stuff you just put already. So um here it's in the intelligence from first principles. It's in that paper. Yeah, yeah, you can just do this one. This is good.
Intelligence.
That paper on intelligence from first principles.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Oh, there it is.
Right. And then just control F for beak. Beak.
Eek.
Yeah. So you see where is it? I don't is there multiple? No, okay, there's one. Right, good. So no, you just have one. Right. So where it says the principle of ecological realism, right? You want to just include that what it says there about the principle of ecological realism.
The who of the huh?
The principle of ecological realism. The last paragraph.
Oh,
It ends with the principle of ecological realism.
okay.
No, the last fucking. What are you doing, bro? The
Bro.
paragraph before this one. The paragraph before this one. Look, it ends with principle of ecological realism. You see? You see the
Yeah,
paragraph before
principle.
this? The fucking wow, bro. Like
Oh.
there. Do you not know what a paragraph is? Okay, look. Yeah, I mean you don't need to do that. You don't need that paragraph. You can just
Okay.
edit the start. You can just edit the beginning of this paragraph being like the principle of ecological realism can be sketched roughly as follows. Or you can just or you can just like not even copy that part. You can just copy from an activity of an organism. You can just copy from there, yeah. You can just copy from there. Copy that whole paragraph from there. Just copy that paragraph. There we go. Just copy the paragraph. Yep. Just copy that. I mean, you don't need that reference at the end of the paragraph though. That's just like it's because it's a quote. Yeah, you could get rid of that last sentence of the paragraph too.
What it says.
No, go to action scaled. Just control F action scaled. Where you put that? Just put it at the end of that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Put it at the end of this. Put it at the end of this. This whole thing here. Put it at the end. Like after everything you just put there, put it at the end. What are you doing?
End of what?
Just at
This
the
thing?
end of the word, the double parentheses, nigga. Right? Just put it at the end.
Oh, okay. Let me look for the double print.
Well, put it back where you put the affordance hypothesis, I guess. Because I didn't know you did it like that.
The affordance
So
hypothesis?
yeah, where you put the affordance hypothesis for. It's control F, bro. Affordance hypothesis. You just put it there.
The affordance hypothesis.
Yeah, put it below there. Sure, put it there. There. You're good. You're good. Okay, you're good. You're good.
All right.
Oh, you can get rid of that last sentence of that paragraph. Actually, yeah. Any move, you can get rid of that. There we go.
All right.
So that'll include the point about granularity. You know, the nestings of behavioral adjustments to the nesting of environmental properties or affordances. Oh, at the end of your prompt, you should put this. Uh, at the instructions in the instructions at the end of your prompt, just like at the very end, just like one little thing you can put at the end there. That'll be good. Where you say applying what they say, go also and no, like at same sentence, go also uh and explaining what the point, like what the points they're trying to make are. Yeah, that's good. Right. It recruits. This is exactly how it's talked about in the literature. We recruit all these, like synergies. We recruit functional synergies to accomplish like a task. That's how it's talked about in the literature. Oh, with Turvey's like work on synergies and all that. Turvey and Kelso especially. And that like is that's them like also applying like homeokinetics in that stuff. I mean, Kelso has multiple papers on homeokinetics. And anything it says here that you're not really understanding, you can tell it to go into more like in another like because you can always go back and edit the prompt, or you can just copy and paste the prompt and do it again, right? What you can do is in a new message, you can ask it to expand more on this specific like physical like point, what's going on here? What does this mean? You know what I mean?
Homeokinetics treats biological regularities as thermodynamic engine cycles. Fix onto a lower potential sink.
Yep. This is all true. It's not like fucking blowing out its ass. Here's another paper by Kelso and Shaw. No, Kugler and Shaw on thermodynamic engine cycles or called epistemic engines
Oh my
as
god, I
thermodynamic
see it.
engines.
I see it. What kind of
What?
science?
What kind of science?
What kind of science?
Yeah, this paper. It's the what kind of science paper. Here you go. This paper on symmetry and symmetry breaking, uh, and thermodynamic and epistemic engines. That's a paper. That's definitely a paper.
Did you add all these file links?
Yeah, I did. If you download it, you can see they're different colors.
I see.
Well, actually, they might not be different colors. Oh no, never mind. I'm looking at my phone. That's why. I'm looking at my phone on my drive. Yeah, they're not gonna be different colors. You gotta download it. But yeah, this is definitely a paper on stuff. There's some other papers in this whole like series, like there's this paper, role of attractors. There's this paper. These are some more niche papers by Shaw and Kugler and Kelso without Turvey. These papers are without. Turvey's not in these papers, so they're kind of more niche. And these three papers I just linked.
Chris Turvey's the talk of the town.
role of attractors in the self-organization of intentional systems. You remember attractors from what was it, chapter 14 in Intro to Ecopsych?
No, I didn't read chapter 14.
Oh man.
Get back to that. I've just been so
Yeah,
busy talking to you, getting all the information that kind of bothered me
get
a
back
bit.
get back to the chat GPT. Well, chat GPT is gonna help you, man. 'Cause it's a large, I mean, it's a large body of work that you gotta like pull all of this stuff from, you know what I mean? Like from all these different disparate papers, you know?
Bro, like, is it all philosophically relevant?
Huh?
Is it all philosophically relevant?
Like, what do you mean? Like, sure, yeah. I mean, it informs philosophy, and philosophy informs it. Just like all knowledge. I mean, all knowledge informs philosophy, and philosophy informs all knowledge.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like some of the stuff is more niche than other things.
Well, it's like ecological physics and like ecological geometry, right? It's like, I mean, just like, so you this is what's actually going on, the experimental methods that are being developed, right? The tools that are being developed, right, to measure things at the ecological scale, right? And it's like we're not just talking out of our ass, you know? Like we're not just
Yeah.
talking in a theoretical sense, right? Like there's affordances and there's information, you know?
Well, yeah, because we just kind of like, because we just kind of
Like
say
we
like,
we are
oh,
we are
well, the traditional
discovering.
approach is a dualism, and
No,
then it's
yeah,
wrong. And then they
the
always
theory is
ask
not
like,
positing
well,
anything. The theory is not positing anything. We're trying to, I mean, we're discovering these lawful relationships, right? I mean, it's definitely, it definitely has hypotheses, right? That are, you know, we would predict we can find, you know, lawful relationships, you know, like invariants, right? Like Warren was talking about, right? The invariants, right? For the stair riser, the stair climbing system, right? Like it's usually thought that these are the invariants, but actually these are the invariants, you know? And that was an empirical discovery from Warren. It's a very important discovery from Warren, right? That
because they're
shaped
always, because
a
it's
lot
always
of
like,
later it shaped a lot of later ecological psychology research.
yeah, because it's always like, you disprove someone like, they say like some bull crap, and it's like, it's like the typical like traditional bromide. And you're like, oh well, that's wrong, and then they're like, oh well, then what else you got, huh? Like, you got any theory of your own here?
Yeah, but also this stuff would, I mean, it's going to be extremely important for me getting into the, you know, like the biotech industry, you know, the way I want to get into it.
Right.
Like especially this stuff about ecological physics. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, I don't really want to be a biotech guy. No, it's not really.
But it's still interesting. You don't think this is interesting stuff?
Well, like, yeah, it is interesting because I've always wondered because it's like, well,
Yeah, I mean,
how do
at
we even
first it's
measure
just
anything
like,
in a meaningful way?
right? It's just like at first like I'm just not satisfied with not knowing, you know, and I'm not satisfied with these bromides, so I'm just gonna go like I'm gonna know, you know, I'm gonna learn what it is. And it's not, just don't feel burdened by the knowledge, bro. Just it's knowledge is economical, bro. Just integrate it. It's just economize it, you know?
Well,
Just
yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
fine
just like
because it's like,
economize it under ecological physics. You know what I mean?
yeah, because it's like I still don't know much about thermodynamics until I go through all of that we read and then
Right,
really like try to parse it.
right. Okay, I mean you could keep going if you want, because you still gotta edit it that you can put, get a new response once you're done with this one.
Oh, here we go. It goes into the schedule of exerted forces.
You just skipped a bunch of stuff though.
Oh. Turvey.
You skipped a bunch of stuff, man. The kinematic stuff. Did you read that? No, this is the kinematic stuff. You were there, like on the spectral stuff, actually, on the biospectroscopy stuff. Yeah, that's where you
Yeah.
were. In the chair perception. There we go. You didn't read that part. In the chair perception. Are you sure you don't want to read any of this out loud? Like it's getting pretty precise. I think it's getting it pretty
Yeah,
like down pat. So you can probably read this stuff out loud if you want.
person does not sit by moving a mass through Euclidean space in an arbitrary time course. The sitting act recruits a macroscopic coordination of posture, locomotion, joint flexion, muscular force, haptic content, vestibular orientation, and respiratory metabolic support. Chair sitability must therefore be specified relative to the organism's current spectral organization. Whether the sitting transition can be fitted into the ongoing mode of activity, whether the body can switch from standing walking to lowering support without losing stability, and whether the timing of descent, contact, and weight transfer can be coordinated. Homeokinetics treats biological regularities as thermodynamic engine cycles. Energy flow systems draw from high potential source, reject some to a lower potential sink, and do work in periodic limit cycle fashion. The amplitude and period of oscillations are determined by the geometric layout of the source sink energy flow system. And the limit cycle periodicity indexes important energy transactions and their time domains.
Yeah,
And chair perception.
all that stuff is in the notes. Basically, you got on homeokinetics. There's a lot of details on that in there, but also any of the papers that I cited in there from Kelso or from Turvey, Kugler and Kelso, or Kugler and Turvey, they talk like they Kugler and Turvey literally have a whole book basically on like periodicities and the self-assembly of periodicities, right? Of clocking behaviors. Right? They literally have a whole fucking the whole book on this information, natural law, and the self-assembly of rhythmic movement. It's a really good book. They go really into deep detail about it. About all of this.
Chair perception spectral information includes the timing of posture preserving adjustments, the pace of approach, the rate of knee and hip flexion, this deceleration before support contact, the time for flow transfer, stabilizing rhythm after contact. The chair may be sittable for the same person at one time, not sittable or not practically sittable. The relevant metabolic dimensions are the dimensions that connect the detected information to the controlled energy expenditure. This is where suitability becomes more than geometry. Chair is not merely a shape that fits a body, it is a layout that supports a particular reorganization of work. The organism can lower its mass, control descent, transfer load to a support surface, or reduce ongoing postural effort stabilize and later rise. In the ecological physics formulation, living things have rich interiors and carry onboard supplies of chemical energy convertible into mechanical forces. Because of this, they are not captive of immediate external force fields. in a way simple non-living systems are. They can use low energy structure distributions such as optical chemical mechanical rays to control the release of much larger forces. Make sure I make this dimensional shift explicit. As
Yeah,
systems run
that's
as
good. Yeah.
fractions,
Remember the
and
example. Remember the example given of, but the basic example of homeokinetics, right? It's like you have the person juggling plates, right, on sticks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They're holding sticks and they're spinning plates, right? They're spinning plates. It's winding down, right? And then you gotta like squirt a little bit of energy into it to get it back to stability, right? Right. So it just like you get it back to where now it's gonna wind down again, right? And you get it back, you know. So like it's like the behavioral cycles. I don't know if you were there when I talked about this, right?
I do kind of remember it. I think it was also in reference to Turvey saying that you're sitting on all of these behaviors.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That was what I was talking about. But you get what I'm saying, right? But that's what it's saying there. That's exactly what it's saying there about
Yeah, I mean, with
controlling
a
the
fractional
controlling
motion,
the
so you have
release.
to
It's saying,
you have to get energy from somewhere.
yeah, we use the information to control the release of forces, right, or whatever it says there, right? That it's basically the squirt of energy, right? You have these behavioral cycles, these behavioral, like the homeokinetic cycles, these limit cycles, right, where you have to like drink water right, every so on, right, like, or it's like some good examples that Turvey gives are like here, like I don't want to try and remember what he says, because then I would mess up. Here we go. Da-da-da. Right. So, for example, yeah, there's nothing fixed about the patterning of behavioral modes, right? Yeah, okay. Let me just read this whole paragraph, right? The notion of a preferred distribution of behaviors invokes principles of a particular physical theory of complexity referred to as homeokinetic physics. The identification of these principles in relation to behavioral regulation begins with the observation that an organism is marginally unstable within its environment. When at rest, it cannot stay at rest. When active, it cannot stay active. This inherent instability is a patterning of a limited but reasonably large number of behavioral modes. The patterning is in the form of cycling among the modes, a pattern of recurrences. There is nothing fixed about the patterning except that all modes are visited a requisite average number of times. For example, eat 2 to 4 times a day, groom about every 10 minutes, right? An organism threads its way among the modes, I can't even fucking pronounce that, whatever. Meaning there's a global stability of behavior in the statistical mechanical sense. Statistical mechanics. That's like uh, it's a one of like the like. I don't even want to get into it. Get into statistical mechanics. Statistical mechanics is not classical mechanics.
Okay.
For adaptive success, or however, the organism must, in addition, thread its way comfortably, right? Like we were talking about, uh, like the circadian rhythm.
Right.
The pattern of behavioral recurrences should fit rather than oppose or be indifferent to the environmental recurrences. That is, the behavioral recurrences should be entrainable, right? And that means recruitable, right? Like preferably in small numbers. Humans eat void, you mean that means shit, and sleep just a few times a day. Such recurrences can fit their circadian rhythm, the circadian cycle comfortably.
Hmm.
So there's no dualism of uh organism and environment here. Homeokinetics is a term so used because regularities in so-called inanimate and animate systems are the result of cycles of energy dissipation and replenishment, so-called thermodynamic engine cycles, right? But it's basically like it's a physics, common, like it's common, like we have a we're trying to develop a set of physical strategies for that's like we're able to study things like across scales, the
So
scale to
is the
scale
sink
the cross scale processes, the processes that bind the scales together, not just looking at one scale.
so the sink is that the shit?
No.
No? What is the sink in our
It's a thermodynamic
uh
it's a you have a source and a sink. Remember the sink was the E2.
right. What like
That's what the potential is defined but as the difference between the source and the sink.
yeah, so we draw from some sort of source and then we
Like
reject some.
the distance from equilibrium, right? That's the metric. I mean, that's the dimension, right? So distance from equilibrium and that in the distance from source to sink, right? That's the potential.
Hmm.
So along this axis of distance from equilibrium, right? We place source and sink, and the distance from source to sink is a thermodynamic potential for change,
Right, the entropy.
right?
Okay. So the sink is not in any particular place. It's
It's
what
it's
our
the
body
it's the
does.
environment. It's the environment. The sink. It's just like we, yeah. That's basically what it is.
Okay, so we sink the lower potentials into the environment.
Sort of. I mean, it's like it's not like the environment. I mean, it's probably
But
not best to
obviously
think
we
of it
get
like
it
that. It's like
too. Like we
right,
get the source too, right? It's not like there's no
right, yeah, yeah,
denial.
yeah,
Like
right, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it is kind of like
It's an act cycle.
it's a cycle.
It's an autocatakinetic cycle
Yeah. Okay.
in Swenson's terms, right? I mean, we already talked about that. We talked about the system. It persists across the whole process.
Hmm.
You remember when we were talking about like act systems, like the diagram from Swenson?
Uh
When we were talking about thermodynamics, when you first
oh.
learned about potentials and stuff, the E1 and E2,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
the diagrams there, yeah. Yeah, look at Swenson's papers for stuff on that.
I guess maybe if you were to liken it to like oxygen intake, maybe.
Right. I mean, it's definitely that's definitely how it functions.
But yeah, and it's like you output back into the environment the fucking
Yeah, I mean Iberol, the person who, formulated homeokinetics, right? He has stuff on that, like oxygen intake. He has a lot of stuff on that. Like that's one of the paradigmatic like examples that he discusses.
hmm.
Arthur Iberol. That's the name. Oh, I need to drink some water. Fuck.
See,
So
to
yeah.
see the seat's distance and location relative to the body is to see the work required to get into sitting relation.
hmm
So, yeah, I mean, I guess it is just like, what? Oh man, what were we
Like
talking about with the
where's
disequilibrium thing?
the opportunity? Where's the opportunity for intentionality? Right?
Yeah,
That's where
it's like what we were
that's
talking with disequilibrium.
yeah.
Um,
But like with the example of the juggler, the plate juggler, right? Who's spinning plates,
mm,
right? The opportunity for intentionality is exactly where, you know, it's winded down and there's an opportunity to inject energy to keep it to restart the cycle, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's exactly where intentionality comes in.
yeah. Because when you were talking about the spinning plates thing, I was thinking of like, burning calories.
Or
It's like
rather,
you,
that's exactly where like choice comes in. Like you're like, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah, yeah. Also, I don't know if you can. There's probably a little bit of notes on this in my notes somewhere. I don't know where, but like talking about value scales and in terms of homeokinetic stuff. You know what I mean? Like the winding down of behavioral cycles, right? Seems like
like
that has a lot
value
of
production
relevance.
reciprocity.
It seems like that has a lot of relevance, right? For value scales, you know?
Values, like you mean like the hierarchy of values, higher and lower order
Right,
values?
right. That and, Swenson's stuff on path selection.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like a future integration I told myself I'll do, like I'll put together. Uh I mean, if anybody else is listening and wants to go ahead and do that, they can do that. Cuz you know how Swenson talks about, right? Like the cabin, right? It it like you open the door in the cabin, right?
Hmm.
And it lets out as much, right? It
Hmm.
drains as much of the potential as it can through that path, right? But it's not infinite, right? So whatever's left over, then it just allocates it. Literally, like it allocates it. This is the language Swenson uses. It allocates it to the next fastest path, right? As much as it can there, and then the next fastest path, and the next fastest path, right? And
I don't know about that. I don't think.
well, that's a you can just search cabin in like Swenson's papers. There's a bunch like where he explains that example, but also there's this paper by Fulto called Ethics of Entropy, right?
Hmm.
Where he talks about value scales in fourth law terms, in these terms. In
Yeah.
exactly the terms I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. He makes the relation explicit to value scales, to ordinal value axiomatic ordinal scale.
Bro, these guys
Not
are
not
fucking
not axiomatic, but
objectivists, man.
not axiomatic. I forget what the term is for values.
Huh?
um it's on my computer. Shit. One second. Gotta get to my computer. I've linked it before though. Ethics of entropy. It's like that's not the title he chose really. That's it's like oh he was responding to an issue, like a special issue on ethics of entropy or whatever. from like some guy's ideas about that. But he was like I'm gonna just hijack and like talk about this stuff instead, you know. You'll see that a lot sometimes, you know. Full tote does that a lot too. You know, he'll go to like these like just random like papers, you know, and he'll just like write a random article like about the topic, right? But he'll just like start injecting a bunch of stuff, you know, like ecological psychology stuff and all that, you know, just like it kind of seems out of nowhere, but like I
It's
know what he's
very
doing, you
I
know.
guess it's very Sherlock Holmes.
Here. Oh no, that was the wrong one. That was just the copy and paste that I told you to copy earlier. I don't know. Okay, here it is. I think some entropy. Da-da-da. Here. Axiological, that's the word. Axiological. Axiological scale is just another word for value scale. But that's what he talks about there. The axiological scale. And he talks about it in terms of the fourth law. You see?
What?
He talks about value scales and he talks about the fourth law. You see, he talks about LMEP, the law of maximum entropy production. That's Swenson's uh the fourth law. Yeah, LMEP.
Oh, you can be observed even in the system not far from equilibrium.
And he cites Swenson and Turvey.
Yeah.
But I think it's very cool how he makes that connection there. So I don't know if anybody's listening and wants to make that whole integration explicit and write a paper on that. That would be cool.
Bro, he's dead ass applying it to ethics. That's crazy.
Yeah,
What
he
case does
literally
Derek
is.
make? To begin with, living organisms are far from the equilibrium system.
And
Organisms are sustained by
duh, duh, duh.
continuous energy flow, and their ordered patterns are self-organized. The rate of entropy production in living creatures must differ from that of a non-living entity under the same condition.
Why can't I find this fucking paper, bro? Fuck.
This free energy took thousands of years to undergo a transformation from most, yet automatically promoted axiologically because they can coincide with forms that tend to contribute to the production of entropy at optimal rates given the specific context. If the search for good is the search for the shortest paths to global energetical degradation, then life in mankind's extremely complex cultures and technological advancements get
And
instantly
in this
promoted
paper,
as
this paper,
needed for that end.
this paper gives the example, the homeokinetics example, and where it says like the opportunity for intentionality is there, like with the winding down and the juggling of plates. I think it's a good example.
The Ten Commandments for ecological psychology.
Yeah, just search like plates in there.
Our image of this is a juggler spinning an array of plates on sticks. As the rotational velocity of one plate decreases and it begins to wobble, the juggler must inject energy. The juggler thereby moves through a space of attractors whose strength reflects current stability levels. These individual action cycles, together with the thermodynamic principles that capture their origins and maintenance, suggest where we might have to work to pay the cost of having intention
I think they
failings.
might have gotten that example. Do you see, like in the earlier page, in the last page? I think they might have gotten that example either from Kugler and Turvey, right?
Google and Turvey,
From
let's see here.
information, natural law, and self assembly of rhythmic movement. Because it sounds like a paper they would write. Okay, I mean, it sounds like something they would say, or the Sean Kinsella shop paper, but I don't think it's from that paper. I think I know what paper that is, so I don't think it's from that
Why are
paper.
there two Shaws?
It's his son.
Oh,
Kinsella Shaw is his son. Yeah, yeah, it's a father and son duo.
nice. Yeah, that is an interesting way to take on ethics.
Well, I don't know what he says there about like how it's its role in ethics as such, but like it's a way of explaining ethics, surely. You know, like thermodynamically, like what's going on there, why ethics, right? What's ethics
I
for?
think it could definitely ground like kind of like an alternative to what objectivists would call like
Right, you know, they start their whole ethics all the time. They're like they're trying to say what is ethics for, right? But then they make like a fucking like terrible like just dualistic like analysis like of just like life like outside of
they face
humans
an
is just
alternative of life and
mechanistic.
death or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
say that, yeah. You know what I mean? Like they don't really have a good grounding for it, I don't think, you know? They know that life is important. But
Yeah.
then it begs the question, why life, right? And I think it's because of that question that they then make the distinction like oh, like the Cartesian distinction of like all other animals are just like mechanistic autonoma.
Robots.
Yeah, robot, you know? I think that's probably why they make that distinction because then like the question begged about why life, right? If why life is so important, because then they just defer it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because if you know,
And like give special like import,
because I mean, if you
importance
think
to.
about it, I guess like every single animal faces the alternative of life and death. So
Yeah, but I don't think that's even the ground of ethics because death is incommensurate with life. You know,
that could
she
also
doesn't
be
say.
what leads them to thinking that life is the absence of death as well.
Right. But yeah, I mean, like, I think they're just misinterpreting what Rand says there because, I mean, she doesn't say that it's like that's the fundamental, like, of values, like, that's what value, like, that's what our values are doing, like the alternative life of death. And that's what our choices are. It's always that alternative life of death. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't ever say that. I don't think. Like people just like extrapolate, and I mean, it doesn't help that she's not very clear. You know?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you ask, because I've asked an AI about objectivist values before, and it does say that a lot.
Right. I mean, because she does say that at the like in the beginning of her like where she's talking about like values, like her theory of values. You know? And it's like, but she says that there, but she doesn't give all that special import to it, right? That people like tend to extrapolate from it, you know?
Yeah, or like the life qual man or whatever. That's another thing that they
Right.
say.
I mean that's good, you know, life qual man, yes. That's important. That's the standard, surely.
Yeah, but I know of a certain individual who likes to say that very dogmatically.
Right, if they have a fucking rationalist understanding of what man is,
Yeah, because it's
right?
like, oh yeah, bro, like ethics, that's like life qual man. It's like, okay, well, what the fuck does that mean? The
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is why you don't start with ethics. You know, you gotta understand the epistemology behind Rand's everything Rand says about ethics, you know? Because when she's saying life qua man, she's certainly not saying any sort of rationalist understanding of life or rationalist understanding of man.
Right.
Certainly, you know.
But
But
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I think it's just they totally get it from the definition of whatever she defines it as. That's their criteria
yeah,
for
and
everything.
but and that's why they. I mean, like that's why it's like so disastrous that they don't understand the epistemology because in the epistemology she says, well, concept's meaning is not its definition, right? And you can't deduce from the definition the particulars or whatever. You can't do this. You know, this is rationalism, right?
Oh, Rand
they
says that? Oh, bro.
it's in Introduction to Objectivist Epistemology. I mean, the analytic synthetic dichotomy paper from Peikoff is in that book,
Oh, damn.
right? So if they read that book, they should know that shit, right? But they didn't read it. They went straight into the ethics or like the fiction, you know, and they're just like working off of like Galt's speech or something.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really need to be like if you're trying to explain something in a debate, really all you need to do is like have like a referent, right? Like maybe like give like some sort of example of what you're trying to say or like what you think this thing is.
Well, I won't even explain anything until it's properly motivated, honestly. That's
Mm.
why I start. That's why I go through like a whole Socratic approach. You remember like it's what I was talking about in the claim to defiance stuff. You know,
Mm.
right? Like that's why I go through like the whole Socratic approach because it's not even like because then remember
You
if
want them
we
to
if we
earn
get
that
rid of
definition.
yeah, but also just like I said there, like if we get rid of like arbitrariness and we understand why we can't have arbitrariness, right? And like why uh like literally my position follows directly from that like the position of necessary specificity, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then it's literally like it's motivated from that, you know what I mean, it's motivated there, and then it gets fully motivated, so then it's like, well, what's the answer to this problem? You got to recognize the problem, you know.
Yeah, you need to be specific because it's necessary. It's necessarily specific.
Right. So, I mean, and it's just like we don't start there, right? We have to get on the same page about like why we can't have, arbitrariness, right? Decide what's the
Mm-hmm.
proper grain of analysis, you know? And what does it mean? What's the what is uh like why can't just be any arbitrary grain of analysis? We need some appropriate grain of analysis, right?
Dude, we totally. Oh, dude, it would be so fucking fun if we had you and Stratino here and we watched the fucking thing with divinity in it. It would just be so funny.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that another time. But you still haven't put in that
Edit
next
the
prompt,
prompt.
bro. So yeah, so I mean, you can finish reading this one, like if like finish reading this one and then put the next prompt. You know, you're skipping so much stuff, bro.
Bro,
Just read it through.
physical
Just read
forces
it.
is therefore part of what is specified by suitability. Though the information itself is not force.
You skipped stuff still. Like we were at the release, of whatever.
The release of what?
Yeah, just the fly example. You didn't do this at all. You know, the release. It's Control F for release. Go down, like all the way down. Like it should be the last one. You know. No, go up. Go up. What the hell is this, bro? Go down. Where's the release? Where is it?
Bro, it's not here.
No, it's right there. It's right there. To control the release. There we go.
Show the release of much larger internally generated forces. Turvey and Shaw made this dimensional stuff explicit. As systems surround interactions become less dominated by mass-defined force, momentum, kinetic energy, they become increasingly dependent on observables defined through L and T alone. Geometric, spectral, kinematic variables. Living things are immersed in low energy distributions, and these distributions connect them to affordances by force-free epistemic contact. Even though the actions controlled by that contact require muscular forces welling up from their organism's interior. Let's say optical ray does not push the person into the chair. It specifies the chair relative situation so that onboard chemical energy can be located and controlled.
Right. That 1988 Shaw and Kinsella Shaw paper is really important on all this. It's titled
It's like
a physical geometry for intentional constraints. I think that's the title. They
it's
talk
like what
all about this.
identifying
Like
work
yeah, they
to
talk about all about allocation of resources. Like in that paper, ecological mechanics, a physical geometry of intent for intentional constraints. And you
yeah,
could
it's like we're
probably
identifying work to do
yeah
so that we can do that.
right yeah, and we allocate like
Yeah, and we allocate the
our
resources in
resources
order
to
to
it.
do said
Yeah,
work. Yeah.
right.
That's exactly the point of the dragonfly example. Turvey and Shaw argue that for the dragonfly to see direction of contact is to see the torques required, to see distance of contact is to see the work required, and to see time of contact is to see the schedule of impulse forces required. If information about directed contact and energy for torque to contact were independent, then the animal would face the impossible problem of converting one currency into another without an exchange rate. Right. That's breaks the first law.
Yeah.
The conclusion is that in the strong organism environment mutuality thesis, information and energy are logically dependent and reciprocal aspects of nature. The case is the same in structure. To see the seat's distance and location relative to the body is to see the work required to get into sitting relation. To see the time to contact of the lowering body with the support surface is to see the schedule of impulse forces required to avoid a hard collision and receive soft contact. To see the to see the direction and orientation of the seat relative to the body is to see the torques required at ankle, knee, hip, trunk, neck, and perhaps arms. To see the surface layout as sittable is to see the energy controlled relation by which onboard chemical energy can be converted into the force
Yeah,
energy.
with this, we didn't include stuff about allometric scaling. Allometric scaling. This is where like allometric scaling would come in. It wouldn't say like arms, legs, trunks, this that whatever. Like if you search allometric, right? in my organism environment system note, if you search allometric, you'll see. But you don't. I don't know. You should probably add this to the next prompt. It's two L's. Two L's.
Am I
And
stupid?
you go back. No. Like go delete the first like the last couple letters. You should. I don't know why you're not saying anything. Hold up. Yeah, you should see it.
Allometric.
Yeah, I can't read. Like it's so small. Yeah, allometry or allometric. So you should just put allomet instead of Rick at the end there. You should just yeah, remove a few. All that stuff about allometry uh, and allometric laws. Yeah.
Should we make another context thing for this?
Hmm?
Should we make another context for this? Like allometry.
No, like where the body scaled unit stuff is. You should see there should be some body scaled stuff like yeah. No, that's the first paper.
Body scale metric.
Probably go to the last one. Yeah. Yeah, you can put allometric stuff there. Yeah. Shit.
Okay, that's pretty much all about allometry.
Oh, there's stuff about allometric laws in other notes. In box 4. In the note box 4.
Allometric
With
laws.
yeah. There's things there about allometric laws. Step to step. Like you want to just include all this stuff here. You can actually see like the paragraph, like those are the same paragraph, but the one below it doesn't have links. It's not linked, so I mean it's just the same paragraph. I think. Is it the same paragraph? I'm not sure.
It
No,
is.
actually, I think it's from two different papers. Like the same. Yeah. It's like sort of the same paragraph from two different papers. So it has some different
We'll
stuff in
just
it.
include both. Yeah, we'll just
Yeah. And there's another note that had stuff on allometric stuff. I don't know if it's like important though.
in summary, the typical allometric law.
And
Is
form
also a
functions.
fractal. This is also about fractality.
Yeah. Here's one. BC text. There you go. Oh, I can't paste it all. Never mind. In form function split balance. I don't know if this is one that's already in organism environment system. No.
Component dominant dynamics and interaction dominant dynamics.
Yeah. You should do this paragraph and the paragraph above it too.
The main feature of complex. Well, there's 3 paragraphs.
is there?
Resolving incommensurability of biology and physics. And the preceding section required recognizing the essential biological
What are you talking about?
form. I'm in form function split balance.
The component dominant dynamics and interaction oh, there is two that talks about allometric. But no, just go to the first one and then just do the paragraph above it and that paragraph.
So this.
Right. So the component dominant dynamics and interaction dominant dynamics, that paragraph, and the paragraph above it.
Okay. All right. Got the allometry in there.
Yeah, and you would probably like on your own. You might want to come back to this part in form function split balance, like the part like the paragraphs above this are like important. Like these are finished paragraphs. Going back to the direction of entailment, you see all that stuff there. These are like finished paragraphs, and you see like there's quotes that I put together. These quotes are really good. Yeah, all these quotes like above that too. Above that paragraph. Like there's a bunch of stuff that I put together.
Mm.
Yeah, this like from Full Totes like 2020 like 2020 is his like dissertation. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Okay.
So there's a lot of cool stuff here if you want to go back and read that on your own.
All right, where were we? I think we completed this dragonfly thing. Schedule of exerted forces is therefore part of what is specified by suitability. Although the information itself is not force, Turvey and Carella's flow form time to force claim says that flow forms and times at the ecological scale can constrain or give rise to proportionate forces. They suggest that flow forms times may function as spatial and temporal operators that change potential functions, where the major biological potential is the internal concentration of chemical energy into mechanical force functions. Sitting requires a schedule of exerted forces distributed over the organism's degrees of freedom, decelerating toward or backward locomotion, positioning the feet, controlling trunk inclination, flexing the knees and hips, maintaining balance, lowering the center of mass, preparing for contact, modulating the impulse at seat contact, and stabilizing the torso once supported. If the chair has arms, the schedule may include reaching, grasping, bracing, or lowering with the upper limbs. If the chair is low, the required knee and hip torques increase. If the surface is high, the organism may need to perch or step backward. If the chair is unstable or wheeled, the force schedule may include controlling unwanted chair displacement. If the organism is fatigued, injured, carrying a load, or hurried, the same layout may require a different force schedule. These are not post-perceptual calculations added after perception of an object. They're what the affordance is about. An action-scaled relation between structured energy distributions and the organism's capacity to control work. The resource availability side of sittability is the organism's onboard energy and current access to the behavioral mode of sitting. In the physical intelligence paper, Turvey and Corello distinguish served systems from self-served systems. Self-serving means matter and or energy for sustaining non-minimal internal states is obtained from the environment, not merely given by it. And foraging implies information about sources of energy and matter. Setting is not foraging, but it belongs to the same general organism environment economy of resource use. A chair affords a way of reorganizing energy expenditure. It can reduce the metabolic cost of maintaining upright posture, allow recovery, permit a new mode of manual work, eating, social interaction, attention, or rest, and alter the distribution of muscular effort over time. What? Bruh. Civil chair is therefore detected relative to the current state of the organism's internal potentials and its ongoing behavioral distribution. Homeokinetics is important here because it treats the organism not as a point mass, but as a complex of thermodynamic engine cycles, a set of cyclic energy dissipation and replenishment processes whose global stability is a distribution rather than a single point. To perceive a chair as sittable is to perceive a possible transition into a different distribution of work and support within the global stability. A chair may afford rest after locomotion, posture, support during manual activity, or recovery within the organism's factory day of behavioral modes. Meaning is therefore tied to the resource availability and resource allocation. God, there's so much. I can't read it all. I have to eat. But this is definitely a good response.
Yeah, just put in the next prompt to see what happens.
All right, because yeah, I have to eat.
Yeah, put in the next prompt to see what happens. And then share. Then you can share the chat with me because I want to read it.
Right. Damn, bro. Okay, how do I share these? Share.
Wait, did you put in a new prompt? Put in the new prompt,
I did put in the new prompt.
and it loaded a whole new one.
Yeah, this is all new.
Okay,
It's
okay.
I'm saying set
Then
autofill now.
yeah, yeah. Just share it to me then. Share, create a link. Yeah, and then you can just share it in there. Yeah. Why is that
Alright.
text red?
What text?
That text there.
Oh, because it's deleted.
Oh, you can see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Alright, anyway. I will stop
Yo, yo,
recording.
yo. All right.